It's a bird.
It's a plane.
No, that's definitely Santa Claus. Well, anyway, this is the Christmas episode. Are we going to skip sports this one time?
We could.
I believe we are.
All right. Well, we don't have news either. Are we going to skip news?
Yeah, we're going to skip news.
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's that time of year, guys.
It is the Christmas special.
It's called that because we've got we're talking about Christmas specials, and this is in and of itself a Christmas special. In fact, it is the bonus features with Alex and Robert Christmas special. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
And let's just get right to it.
What are we reviewing first?
First, we are reviewing the 1989 hit, The Simpsons Christmas Special. And what's interesting about this particular special is really it's the first episode of the series.
I never really knew that. I guess I kind of did, but I never really remembered.
You didn't know that?
No, I'd never seen this episode.
See, that's what's so amazing is this episode is such an anomaly just as a thing because in addition to the fact that The Simpsons had been a short on...
A series of shorts, right?
Yeah, it was a series of shorts on the Tracy Ullman show. And, they were like Looney Tunes length at longest.
Yeah, they'd have them between the sketches and such.
Yeah, I think they're, in fact, short. Like, a lot of them were shorter. Like, I've watched a few online. And this, so they had time to grow and really had a lot more time to develop these characters. And that's such a huge advantage. I would say... interestingly enough, South Park also kind of did the same thing with the whole Jesus versus Santa thing.
Oh yeah.
And they also did they did like a Thanksgiving one too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's different than okay, we've got this show or we've got this idea. Let's just develop it and like for live action, for instance, let's develop it and shoot a pilot. This had so much time to. I guess be nurtured, have the characters be nurtured and grow into something. Yeah,
because it was already a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like they really had a huge advantage in developing it since they had so much to work with and had some finished material.
What my big, what you're going to hear me constantly go back to in this episode or in this review for this episode is just how different it is. From what I understand The Simpsons being. Everything from the certain aspects of the voice acting to how certain characters look, and how certain characters act.
Well, you know what? That's actually interesting you say that because there's one thing that I noticed because I watched this twice because I figured I just want to watch it once and then I figured I need to watch this and take some notes. So I watched this obviously a couple times. There's one thing that actually kind of stood out to me is I felt like the rest of the first season following this kind of went back on the Tracy Ullman shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like this special felt like in a lot of ways certain things about the characters were present that would be more prevalent later. And then they sort of went back on them. For instance, in the first season, Homer's like character's sort of like an asshole, like sort of this like gruff dad.
Yeah.
And like that wasn't really present in this special, and I thought that was so weird how it's like he went from being gruff on the shorts, then in this was sort of more like the Homer, let's say like season 4 on.
Yeah, he's not just a big piece of shit. Like he's vulnerable. Like he makes mistakes and he's put in a position where he has to fix them, and he's very he's kind of weak in a way.
Yeah.
You feel bad for a lot of Homer, but the voice acting with him, God, it's so different. Like from what we know.
That's what I'm also saying is even his voice performance. It's like I felt like it was a slight change from the Tracy Ullman stuff. Well, a pretty decent change. But then the rest of the first season seemed like he kind of went back to that. And then eventually, because it's sort of like, Bart, yeah. What are you, blah, blah, blah. And then it sort of became, I can't do a Homer voice, but you know what I mean?
It became sort more bubbly and...
Yeah. That's exactly how I'd describe it. More bubbly and sort of like happy-go-lucky.
Right. And that's really interesting. I never really thought that it was that big of a difference. I didn't know the gap was that big between the sounding of the voices.
Well, also just the sound. It's just one of those things you notice because it's old. The sound quality is just different.
Oh yeah. Did you have a problem with the mix?
Not particularly.
With like specifically with music laying over dialogue? It might have been just because I watched this on FX Now. No shitting on FX Now, but all I'm saying is when I watched this, like there were certain parts where I'm like, I can't hear what they're saying. God damn it! Like somebody it was Alf Clausen doing the music.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't hear this shit. But
sure, but
yeah, it was. It is different. It's a different dose of Simpsons than expected.
Well, but for starters, first line is funny. Mm-hmm. Or the first punchline is. And it's weird as I know it seems like, duh, this is the formula with its setup punchline. It's like, yeah, that's comedy. But Simpsons, they're so good at that, you don't even notice it. Mm-hmm. And from the get-go, Homer, be careful. We're late. We don't have time to be careful. That's such a Homerism.
Right. Yeah. And then what do you call it? The Christmas pageant stuff. That was funny.
Well, see, that's what's weird, too, is, like, I guess that it's, like, that's a weird intro for Lisa, because it's, like, it kind of shows who she is a little bit, and that she's, like...
Weird in a like, brainy sense.
Yeah, she's, like, culturally, like, observant of other things and all that. And then Bart, it's just your classic Jingle Bells, Batman smells, and all that.
Very Bart.
Yeah.
Lisa's a little bit more, especially in, like, the post-credit scene, where it's, like, she's singing the... Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the little add-ins as well, and like Homer's like, knock it off, Lisa. I'm like, Lisa wouldn't do that. Like, I mean, maybe.
Well, that's what's actually interesting. I've noticed this every time I watch this, or at least the last few times, is the only time you really get a sense of who Lisa is, or like who she's going to become, like or who she's going to become later in the later episodes.
Talking about the Patty and Selma part?
Yes.
It's great.
I love that part because it's like, it's weird though because it seems like it's just a throwaway joke, but it's not. That's like Lisa's whole deal as a person. It's like, I'd really rather you wouldn't trash my father in front of me because he will be a male role model for my relationships down the line to come.
Yeah.
Go back to your cartoons, honey. It's classic.
It's great.
It's weird, though, because at the beginning, it's just like, she wants a pony. It's like, okay, so she's every girl, 8-year-old little girl.
In this part of, in this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, there's nothing new there. And I'm glad they have that part.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, because it definitely does signal what she becomes later.
I mean, well, not much, or rather, you see, not signals what she becomes later, but...
The intellectual Lisa is present.
Yeah, or rather, it's like that's the first dose of that we get, and it's obviously explored in the rest of season 1. Mm-hmm. And then again, it's the same thing with everyone. By season 3 or 4, it's like defined that Lisa's smart and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. I wanted some more Grandpa.
Yeah, that's one thing I thought was weird. Is like he says like 2 things.
Well, and they even mention him like in the Christmas letter when Marge is narrating, like, Grandpa's doing fine or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck is he?
Well, see, his character changed from being feisty to crazy,
right?
Because like when I think of Grandpa, I actually think of the Road Rage game.
Oh yeah,
because he's got so many great lines. Back in my day, we called sandwiches Flat Freddy's. Cost 5 playing cards a bite. It's like, who the fuck thinks of this?
Oh, man.
That's what I mean. And Grandpa's just, in the first, I would say even the first couple seasons, he's more like, oh, he's a tough old guy. Because like the one thing you get any sense of character from is when they're watching the Christmas elf. What the fuck is it?
The elves.
Happy
show.
Little Elves.
Happy Little Elves, yeah.
Which I guess is take off the Smurfs. Mm-hmm. He's just like, oh, unbelievable. Like he just, it's just like whatever. He hates it. Mm-hmm. And so does everyone except Lisa.
Right.
Let's see. Well, back to the letter.
Yes.
I thought that is a perfect expositional device.
And Bart. We love Bart.
Yeah, exactly. And that gives you a sense of Marge, man.
Yeah.
She's basically the glue that holds everything together. Which isn't that's not really shown particularly strongly in this episode, but eventually down the line. Like, there's one where she's gone, like, because she, like, breaks her leg or whatever.
Well, yeah.
And then it's, like, the house is, like, flooded.
Right. Well, I mean, like, you definitely do get a sense of, like, something that I think is, you could say with fair confidence, which is that Marge is pretty much the straight man of The Simpsons.
Yes.
Out of that family.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Lisa, you could say, is a straight man as well, but she has a personality trait in that she's different, in that she's the smartest person in that family, like, classically speaking, bright. Whereas Marge is just like a normal person.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I'd say you're right. She's the straight man or straight woman of the family.
And you get that sense in this episode.
Yeah. Then you got Flanders.
Yeah.
Typical grass is greener on the other side.
This is the first appearance of Ned and Todd Flanders.
Yeah, no Rod, though. It was weird.
No Rod.
Also, the voice of Todd is different.
Yeah, it definitely
Excuse
didn't
me,
sound
Mr.
like
Simpson. You dropped your pork chop.
That was, I definitely did not, it did not register with me that well.
Yeah.
That didn't sound right. But this is our first appearance of Seymour Skinner, Milhouse, Sherry and Terry, Moe, Mr.
Sherry
Burns.
and Terry, like, what, are they on stage or something? You don't hear them talk.
Oh, no. There's also, Dewey Largo also.
We also get Lewis.
Get Lewis. You already said Ned and Todd. Barney Gumble. Mr. Burns. He sounds so different.
Yeah.
That was one where I was like, whoa, that's a voice that has evolved too. Like, even more so than Homer.
Well, because they I guess, like, they wanted him to be more of, like, the like, tight-fisted, like, angry CEO, at least to start.
Yeah, rather than, like, the creepy, like...
The like, withering, old man sort of, which he became.
Yeah, and that was one that really struck me. I mean, Moe, pretty much all the Hank Azaria voices...
Moe sounded exactly the same to me.
the same, yeah.
That's actually to the point where it impresses me that he could not only do, because, like, after a while, voice actors doing certain voices, you start to hear it a little differently. Moe, it sounds exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
So I've always felt like Hank Azaria, man, like he doesn't get enough credit for how good he is.
No, man, and not even as just a voice actor.
I mean, I think that's the one thing about The Simpsons in general, and is prevalent in this episode, is they're all such talented voice actors.
Oh, yeah. Especially, like, I even heard a little bit of, did you hear a little bit more of Yeardley Smith in this? Like, wasn't there, she voiced another kid or something, or no, it wasn't Yeardley Smith, it was, what's her name? What's Bart?
Nancy Cartwright.
Nancy Cartwright. I heard another Nancy Cartwright voice in this. I'm like, oh, she's also playing some kid.
Was it the kid who was like it's like, I bet I want some Google balls?
Yeah. It was and I was like, holy shit, like, I'd never really noticed her
That just cracks me up, that kid.
That whole scene is great. It's a great scene with well, then of course Bart comes in and it becomes an even better scene.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, continue.
Well, no. If you want, did you have more to say about that?
Oh, well, it was. It's just a really well constructed episode in that it kind of introduces something that we see with a lot of Simpsons and later what Family Guy would pick up on, where it's like the episode starts one way and it goes a completely different way. Starts off, Bart gets his tattoo in a really funny scene.
Oh, that's the best. I think that's the best line in the whole episode.
Wait a second. Are you 21?
No, it is like, how old are you? Why, 21, sir.
All right, get over here. Get
in the chair.
I just love that he's like, wait a second, like he is actually suspicious. But
yeah.
You see, the joke is, all he needed was Bart's validation that he was 21. And that's why it's funny, right?
Yeah, yes. That was the joke.
Yes, Buzz Killington.
Yeah,
that was the joke.
Buzz Killington, that was the joke.
But yeah, you think it's going to start there and be like, oh no, how are we going to get rid of Bart's tattoo? And then it becomes, how the hell is Homer going to be able to pay for Christmas this year? Because no bonus.
Right, and then it's like sort of a reverse gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
Which I thought was also very clever. It's like, well, at least he's got this. Well, at least she's got the jar. And then it's like, nope, neither one of us have it. We're fucked.
And then you get your little Santa's Little Helper origin story.
Right. Got a Homer Christmas shopping. See, that to me was like, that was Homer of the seasons later down the line. Like, ooh, paper. He can think of a million things to do with this.
A chew toy.
That's
for dogs, but She can't read.
That's what I mean. Because, like, but I like that. You're right. It's a very good Homer episode because he feels badly, but he can't break the news, but he wants to fix it without having to break any bad news.
Yeah, and it's a really good introduction to Homer.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not a shitty guy.
No, he's not a shitty guy. He has probably a crappy way of handling it because like honesty would probably be the best thing to do. But he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I think I can solve this and deal with it my way, and then no one will have to know.
Right.
But the point is, he's proactive. Even though he's not the brightest guy, he's gonna try. Damn it.
And you get the Patty and Selma jeering.
Yeah.
Where they're just fucking shitting all over Homer's life.
Yeah, and then, of course, we get Lisa's follow-up.
Yes.
Let's see. Santa's Little Helper. Oh, the Santa Training School.
Nixon. What were the last two he said again? It was like some...
I can't remember. It's like... it's something ridiculous, but I love how... I just think that's a great, like, visual gag, because it's like... What is it like being a mall Santa? It's like, you just show up. Do you have to do that? They're sitting in a classroom.
You gotta be trained for this job?
Ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you give me fucking trained for this?
Now take it from the top. Or like, you're not the real Santa.
Yeah, who the hell was voicing that guy? Was that fucking...
That sounded like Harry Shearer. If I were to guess, I could be wrong.
God, some of them I do get a sense where I'm like, who the fuck is that? Is that Dan Castellaneta just like really morphing his voice, or maybe is it Harry Shearer doing a higher voice? I don't know.
I don't know. I think in the earlier episodes they had they'd occasionally use like random
voice actors that weren't a part of the actual cast or like regular recurring cast.
Yeah, because I know that like Russie Taylor, for instance, who does like Martin Prince.
Yeah.
She like a lot of her characters have been voiced by other people, I think.
Right.
That's what I mean. There's just certain ones where it's like, oh, it used to be Pamela Hayden and now it's whoever, you know.
That makes sense.
Or it used to be someone and now it's Pamela Hayden. There's a bunch of that stuff. But the animation in general, that's one thing that's kind of insane. Is just the step up it is from the Tracy Ullman stuff.
Yeah, I expected it to look a lot worse. And I guess I was thinking of the Tracy Ullman animated style when I was thinking of what I was going to get with this. And it's not. It's a lot better. But
even the rest of the first season, I feel like, isn't... Like, some of it is not as... Like, there's an episode, like, where you know, in the first season where they're like... it's like Call of the Wild or something. Where they're, like, camping in an RV. Like, that animation looked real old. And I felt like this Christmas special looked really good.
Well, I think that they said they originally had planned, I think they said Some Enchanted Evening.
Yeah.
Which is the one where their house is getting robbed.
Yeah.
And Bart and Lisa are hostage or whatever.
Yeah, the Babysitter Bandit.
Yeah. I think that was originally supposed to be the original premiere for the season, but I think they were having problems with animating it. So this was the one that they ended up leading with.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing that's like, that's a pretty bold move. I mean,
you lead with the Christmas special?
Lead with the Christmas special, but in a way it kind of makes sense because people watch a Christmas special, especially at the time, hey, what's this? Okay, cool.
Right.
Oh, you mean I got to see this again? Awesome.
Right. Yeah, this episode was nominated for 2 Emmys in 1990.
Was it?
Yeah, so it did well. It also premiered with a Nielsen rating of 14.5, which is approximately 13.4 million homes tuned in.
Okay, so that's like...
In 89, that's pretty good.
I feel like that's like more than anything on right now does in one night.
Yeah, I mean, it was the second highest rated show.
Live plus same day, live plus 7 days.
Right. Geez.
For those of you playing at home, TV ratings have changed. Basically, the way it used to work is it was just in one night. But now that we've got your DVRs, your DV whatevers, your TiVos, your cell phones, your whatnots,
your PSPs and your Game Boys.
Yeah, your crazy calculators,
Dreamcast,
your TI-83s. The point is, they now have a number of different ways of measuring ratings. So 14.5 million. That's that's an insanely high number for anything.
Yeah, it was the second highest rated show on Fox up until that point.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the teacher. Let's see. Voices are, well, some of the voices are obviously different, as you pointed out, but one that bugs me, just because I know that's like, that's not him. Or that's not what the character really sounds like, damn it.
What's that?
Ralph.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that was supposed to be him. I'm like, what the fuck? It looks like Ralph. Is that supposed to be him? I looked up and it was.
Okay, so it is him. That's the thing.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, yeah, see, it looks like him. There's another episode, though, with a very strange clip. Those of you playing at home, you should probably check this one out. Just search Lisa Horse Ralph different voice. It's like they're watching Lisa on her pony, and it's like, or like her horse later, and it's like an early episode, like season 2, and it's just like, wow, what a wild like woman she is, or something, and then it's like, or like, what a wild horse, or something, and then like Ralph just goes, yes, but what man could tame her? And it sounds like Nelson.
Weird.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's very weird sounding.
Yeah, no, that is
weird. But in this one, it was whoever was doing the voice of Todd, it sounded the same.
Yeah. I'm like, this sounds like a completely different person, like a third Ralph voice actor, if you will.
Also, it's just, that's not the Todd Flanders that we know and love.
No.
Rod and Todd, you know.
And there's no Rod.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Is Rod not born yet?
Well, where's Maud?
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
She hasn't died just yet.
Yeah, she hasn't died yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I guess, for
latter season. When did that happen? Like season 6?
No, that was way later. It was
8.
It was when they were starting to sort of decline. Like
really?
it was still a good show at the time, but it was not amazing. Like, it was not the god tier Simpsons.
Right.
It was like season 11 or 12, maybe. I don't know. But moving along, I suppose.
Season 11.
Okay, season 11. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I also love how Homer, the thing about like, well, I'll feel better when Mrs. Claus's sisters leave. What I love about that is that's Homer completely misunderstanding the point of what he's supposed to be doing. It's like, this is not a couch therapy session for you, Homer.
Right.
It's like, you're supposed to be paying attention to the kids. But like, you can't blame him because he's stressed and he took this mall Santa job.
And he's hungry. He wants a bite of the donut.
Yeah. Hey, give me a bite of that donut and we'll call it even or whatever.
Oh, man.
And of course, to bring it full circle, we get the first utterance of a classic Bart Simpson phrase. Who are you?
Oh, I caramba. Or wait, no.
No.
Was that
Who
when
are
he's
you?
getting
I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Oh, yeah. Well, he says the I caramba.
What's your name, Bartner?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Homer Simpson. Who the hell are you? Or, I'm sorry, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Oh, my God.
Classic.
Jesus. And, of course, you get the great moment where Bart finds out and he realizes, how not shitty his dad is, and they go cash the check.
Yeah.
It's $5 for all the deductibles from the fucking
Oh, yeah,
paycheck.
it's like, and then the Santa training, the costume rental. Yeah. See you next year.
Wow, $13.
13 big ones. Classic. Yeah, so there's something also interesting.
What's that?
Is how when they decide that they're going to follow Barney to the dog track, Bart mentions TV specials.
Yeah.
That you get an early usage of that meta humor that's so common today in things like Deadpool or Family Guy in particular.
A lot of the deconstructionist meta humor, yeah.
Right. So he says Charlie Brown, or it happened to Tiny Tim, it happened to Charlie Brown, it happened to the Smurfs. And then what's so amazing about that line is little did Bart know that he and his family, the Simpsons, would become a fixture of equal, if not greater levels than some of the things he listed.
That is very cool.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I never really considered it that way. Jesus. Here we are now, literally 30 years later.
Still on the air.
Still on the air.
Maybe shouldn't be,
but Jesus, I mean, it's still a fixture.
Regardless of the fact that it's been on way too long. The God tier Simpsons, that's the best TV that exists.
Yes.
In my mind.
Can't be taken away from.
No. So there's that. There's also like There's also a lot of like good lines from just random side characters.
Yeah.
Can we open presents, Dad? You know the tradition, son, not till after the 8th race.
Oh, man.
And then I think the perfect Bart Homer moment is, it's a sign. It's a coincidence. Because in that moment, you realize, even though Bart, as we read from the letter, is not the best student, he's even a little wiser than Homer. But he wants to believe in his dad, and he says, you know what, fine, if you have a feeling, just go for it.
Another funny joke is when they're finally waiting for Santa's little helper to finish the race.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like super awkward. They're like, oh, let's just leave.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm not leaving till our dog crosses the line. Oh, forget it, let's just leave. And that's what's interesting is another kind of flip things on their head. So, The Simpsons, and as many people like to say nowadays about subverting expectations, in the classic, Christmas special, maybe Santa's Little Helper would have won, but he loses. But does he?
No.
He doesn't.
He wins a family.
Santa's Little Helper wins a family.
He sure does.
He's
a Simpson.
Yeah, he's a loser. He's a Simpson.
It's a great line.
It is. It's great.
It's a very Homer redeeming line. You're like, you go, Homer.
Yeah, and as we know in the Grift of the Magi episode, this is 1 Christmas Homer saved versus 8 he ruined.
Yeah.
And 2 were kind of a draw. Well, could this one be a draw? Could this be the draw he's talking about? Yeah. Or it's like two were kind of a draw. Well, and that's the other thing, I guess, is I guess the reason why there's so many other great Christmas episodes is, you get your footing down by making your first episode one. You're bound to have some good ones down the line.
Could you imagine if they led with the Treehouse of Horror? That would have been so weird.
That's something I just don't understand how you could do.
Because that fucks with the format.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what? Wait a second. The last show was like a series of vignettes.
Yeah.
Why is this episode like an A story, B story?
Well, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I'd heard something along the lines of they wanted to do that with Halloween. But it's like you made the first 2 movies like part of the same story.
Right.
And then 3 Season the Witches came. It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, no. That didn't work out. Well,
no.
Depending on who you are, maybe it did, but
well, I like it. It's just not. It's not like.
Not amazing.
It's not Michael Myers.
Yeah, no.
But back to The Simpsons.
Yes,
that's the subject at hand.
This was a bold foot to lead with.
It
a
sure
Christmas
was.
episode, as we said. But
Also,
good message.
Yeah, good message. But one again with the meta Bart. TV betrayed me.
I love that. Fucking.
It's like
it's great.
Yeah, but I think the message I got from this is it wasn't like, don't be a jerk, go to Christmas and stuff, like Christmas Carol and like that stuff. Like, don't be a stingy dick, like spread the wealth or whatever. This was simply, it's an old phrase, but when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, it's that, and it's also, I feel like, a dash of like, Christmas isn't about the presents. It's about what you make it. You know?
It's about dogs.
It's about dogs and family and how dogs make families better.
Right.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was simply about growing the family.
Right.
And that Homer was, he was going to make his big confession.
But it didn't matter.
But then Bart's like, let me save you.
Yeah.
I got this, brah.
Exactly.
He did not say that exactly, but maybe he would.
Maybe he would have in 2017.
In 2017, while he's hoverboarding with his vape pen. No, that's a Bart I don't want to see.
No, maybe in the reboot.
You shut your face.
I'm pushing all the wrong buttons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a... I never realized how much of a mainstay episode this would be, because I didn't know how... This episode has a huge following.
Yeah.
Like, it's been looked at contemporarily, and, like, people have praised it and stuff. And I had no idea this was the first episode of The Simpsons.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, I guess because Simpsons grew to the phenomenon it is, it just didn't have a typical story. As I'd mentioned, from the years of Tracy Ullman, and then this being the bold step forward.
Yes. It's definitely different. But it worked out, and boy, did it work out.
Yeah, so, I mean, rating, like, scores.
I don't know. How do you rate a single episode of a show?
Oh, you can do it. Like,
okay. I give it like a 7?
Oh, how dare you.
I mean, it's good, but, like, it's not an amazing Simpsons episode. It's like...
No, that's true.
There are way better ones than this. It's good.
Yeah, it's like, overall, like, the comedy, for instance, like, it's good and it's clever, but there's only a few, like, gut busters.
Yeah.
Like why I'm 21, I think that's my favorite line. The eighth race.
Yeah. But, yeah, you can definitely tell, like, they haven't hit Simpsons' stride yet.
That's another thing that's interesting is shows used to take a little while to... And, well, I guess it's kind of interesting because that's one of our complaints with the hour-long format is we think it takes too long to hit the stride.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's different because it's like you're entertained. I'm still entertained by this episode just as a standalone thing.
Right.
I'd give it about an 8.
That's not much higher.
Okay, fair enough.
But what is that? Oh, so you're rating out of 10.
Oh, fuck that. Sorry.
I poisoned you with my 10 out of 10-ery.
You disgust me. For those of you playing at home, normal people rate things out of 5.
Yes, so that's a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
So that's an 11 out of 15. That's pretty good.
11 out of 15 is our score for the Simpsons Christmas special. I guess the one thing I'll close off with is, do you notice how they actually did a really good job of not making it too, like, sappy or overly sentimental?
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially the part where, like, Bart has that little, like, heart-to-heart with Homer in the, like, Santa hut.
Lodge.
And he's like, don't get all sappy on me now. We got work to do.
Right.
And I enjoyed that it just, I think, tonally, this did everything right. Because you got a little bit of the family stuff. You felt, sympathy for Homer trying to do his best. And the comedy was there. And as you said, hadn't hit its stride quite yet, but this was a very, very strong beginning.
Would you call it brave?
Sure.
I'm just using buzzwords.
No. Okay.
It's a good episode.
See, I kind of felt like I was like, where's he going with this? No, you know what? Fuck that. It's not brave.
It's cowardly. It's a very cowardly
episode.
Very
cowardly. How dare they? Using a Christmas special to hide the fact that you're not ready to have your other episode air first. You disgust me. Anyway.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. So 11 out of 15. That's it for The Simpsons. Hey, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Christmas time is here?
I did.
Okay, cool.
It's actually like 3 days from now.
Christmas time is... Okay, yeah, sorry. I was doing the wrong key.
I noticed. I didn't want to say anything, but I want to be nice.
Trying to hit those high notes.
It's okay. Vince Guaraldi would be very, very ashamed. But no.
I'm sorry, Vince.
I'm sorry. You're a great jazz artist, but your music is too hard to sing in my register.
Yes, what he said. I'm also too lazy to think of my own words to say to apologize to you, but whatever. So,
we are about to review A Charlie Brown Christmas, the 1965 animated TV special based on the comic strip Peanuts by Charles M. Schulz. This was directed by Bill Melendez. You've seen this. This is arguably the Christmas special that everybody talks about.
I was going to say, this is, in my mind, like the definitive Christmas special.
Right.
When I think of the words, this is it's like this and Grinch, or the animated Grinch. God damn it! The first the
animated Grinch, yeah.
The good animated Grinch. Fuck it. I haven't seen the new one, but I'm sure.
I'm imagining it's not the better animated Grinch. We'll say.
God damn it! The first Grinch that actually looks like the book.
Yeah. Those are the two.
Those are the two really that come to mind. And then I guess as an honorable mention, all the Rankin Bass. They're all the same shit. So.
Frosty, Rudolph. Santa Claus coming to town, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
this is arguably the one.
Right.
The Stairway to Heaven.
Well, interesting you mentioned heaven because this is it's very thematically heavy.
Yeah.
It's it lean. I mean, the whole plot, or I guess if there is a plot, because it's very slice of life in a way.
Slice of season.
Well, yeah, actually, that's a great way to describe it. Mm-hmm. Slice of season, and in this season, it examines commercialism versus religion.
You know what
that's like the obvious main theme here.
Right, and that's something that really kind of is interesting. Is well, how often did you grow up with this, or did you pick it up recently, or what?
I've seen this dozens of times.
Yeah, who are we kidding? Same.
The VHS I have is from the 80s.
Oh, you have the VHS?
Yeah, I watched it on VHS.
Oh, wow. See, I just watched it on I think it was ABC or what.
Yeah.
They'd air it a shit ton.
I've got the one where it has this big, like, it was, the Disney VHS ones with the extra plastic?
Yeah.
This was like, but I guess this was before that even. It's like...
Concrete?
No, it's like an extra... like paper, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it. It's just like there's extra like blocky shit.
It's official, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's VHS AF, as the kids say on the interwebs.
You should make an unboxing video for those kids.
Unboxing, explained reaction. Yes. Top 10 anime
prank.
Betrayals prank. Gone wrong. Explained while on a hoverboard, while piloting a drone that is carrying my vape pens.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Charlie Brown Christmas, because...
Charlie's depressed.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. I never, as a kid, got that until very recently. I'm like, holy shit, he's like hardcore, like a 7-year-old kid, like sad and like having an existential crisis about the meaning of his spirituality. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this only happened to me... I realized this. I'm like, I had a similar reaction to this. Like, this was the Christmas that spoilers for kids listening to this, turn the podcast off right now. This is going to ruin your Christmas. When I learned Santa wasn't fucking real, I was super depressed. Like, I was like, something doesn't feel right. Like, and I was just thinking about Santa, like, Mom and Dad, how does Santa do blah, blah, blah? And like, my curiosity got the better of me, and they're like, Robert, we're just going to tell you. Yeah. So, like, it reminded me of that, where, like, I was starting to get older, and I'm like, God damn it, something about Christmas doesn't feel right.
I think part of that comes from that Charlie Brown, even though they're only, like, 5, 6, or, like, whatever, like, second grade at the oldest.
Obscenely young to be saying and thinking some of this shit.
Well, that's what is so amusing about Peanuts, is that like they all have these strangely adult perspectives on life.
Yeah, because like the adults don't exist. Essentially,
it's like, I guess this is like in some ways a precursor to Rugrats.
Yeah.
But like this being like in a different way, because it's like they're still young, but like they just have certain perspectives on things that are very adult. And I think another thing that speaks to that is Charlie Brown. He's an old soul. Yeah,
no, he dresses like one. He wears a fucking poor boy cap, and he wears a fucking sweater with, Argyle all over it and shit. Plaid. Right. But yeah, it's really interesting. So, of course, you got that, and Lucy suggests that in order to get some of his Christmas spirit back, that he'd direct the neighborhood Christmas play.
Right.
I don't know why you'd allow a child to do that. Sounds horrible.
See, that's the other thing. What the fuck is this play about? I've watched this.
It's just them dancing.
I watch this every year, and I'm like, what is this play about? What are they trying? Like, what is the point? It's like the only thing that seems to be sort of there is like
there's music.
No, there's music, and I guess it's like they're trying to make a pageant.
Yeah. And you know what? You never find out.
Yeah.
You never find out what the play is, if it goes well.
Yeah.
You never learn any of that shit. But, like, why would you let a child who's clearly stressed out direct a fucking anything? A child. It's like, this reinforces my thought about what the Peanuts really is.
I feel like if Charlie Brown were any more of an old soul, he'd complain about his back pains.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what the Peanuts is? This is what I think it is, my surmising of it. This is Peanuts Explained. If you will.
What's that?
This is the entire town they conspire against Charlie Brown to try and get him to kill himself. They're just so obscenely mean to him and trying to put him in shitty situations of stress and anxiety. And I feel like there's a Riverdale or fucking a new Sabrina version of this fucking show.
I feel like you just spoke that into existence.
But I feel like this wouldn't
fall on CW.
I feel like this is even less of a fucking leap than those shows.
It's like, something's lurking in the town of wherever Peanuts are from.
But like, God, they're
Charlie
so mean
Brown,
to him.
You suck. And then it's like, they gotta make it modern for the cool kids, so there's a group text.
Oh, God.
Or what are some of the weird Apps? Like
Snap Speak.
They're using Snapchat, and it's all
Flickergram.
making fun of shitty Charlie Brown with Flickergram.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the end tag of the episode is like you just see a shadow of the Great Pumpkin.
Oh, and it's real.
Yeah, no, duh, dude. Yeah, we're making our Riverdale, whatever the fuck.
Sabrina
Brown,
dark show, but it's just so weird how shitty they are. Like everyone is like, what's the chick in the green? There's the chick in the green with the dark hair and the chick in the orange with the.
There's the one that kind of looks like Lucy. Her name's Violet.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks for the Christmas card, Violet. I didn't send you one. I love how she's no tact whatsoever.
What's the girl in the orange dress with like she's got like a brown bob haircut? I don't know. They both hate Charlie Brown like almost immeasurably. It's like you don't even interact with him in like any other fucking episodes. Like, why do you hate him so much? Like, oh, brother.
It's because he's a Debbie Downer.
God. Oh, man.
Funny. Also, yeah, let's see. Well, I mean, just like listen, like the way Charlie Brown talks. I mean, he has to get psychiatric help from Lucy.
I'm depressed.
Yeah, love that plinking sound of the nickel.
Yeah.
You know, I have a coin jar.
You do?
Yeah, and it's also made of metal. I agree with her. The plink of a nickel is a good sound,
especially in the holidays.
Yeah, cold hard cash, as she put it. Also, even Lucy is like, she's got shades of Charlie Brown and old soulishness. Because it's like, I like how he's like sort of, like talking about what he finds wrong with Christmas lately, and like he thinks he's commiserating with her when she's like, yeah, I agree, dude. Christmas doesn't work out for me. It's like, all I get is clothes and toys, and Charlie Brown's like, yeah, go on with that. It's like, but I never get what I really want. What do you want? Real estate. Which is very reminiscent of another line from a movie a few years down the line. I've got one word for you.
Oh, man.
Plastics. It felt very similar. It's like
an out of left field.
Well, it's an out of left field thing. It's like a one word or I guess a one subject catch-all solution that this is their big comeuppance. And it's not that either one of them are wrong. It's just that I've seen this 100 times, and I swear I never remember that. Yeah. Real estate.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that I was like, I forgot about this part.
Yeah. So there's that. No one's taking the play seriously.
No.
Okay, here's one thing I never understood. There's that part where Lucy's like, look, you've got to take direction. What prompts her to say that? They're just
Are you the director?
Yeah. Number one, no. Well, I guess number one, there's that. Number two, they're not like doing anything. They're just standing there.
Also, Lucy, what the fuck have you done?
Yeah.
God. And Lucy sucks. Let's just, come on.
Yeah, Lucy does suck.
This just became a Lucy Sucks podcast.
Sure did.
Like, she's such a bastard. Like, to Charlie Brown specifically. We won't have to talk about the football thing. That's thankfully not in this one.
Yeah.
But, like, what the fuck? Why you gotta do that to the man? He's just trying to, like, not suck. Not have a shitty life.
She's just hijacking the play, man. She's just,
And worst of all, she hates dogs. Come on.
It disgusts me.
Funny joke, though, when Charlie Brown walks in and everyone's clapping and Snoopy's howling and he thinks he's booing.
You know what's
Man's
weird
best
is,
friend.
Well, first of all, yeah, there's that. First of all, Snoopy's stealing the show.
Oh, at every turn.
Every turn he gets, and you know what's weird is, I said, in my mind, I was thinking, wow, he's kind of like a not, like an actually funny version of that annoying Marx brother.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like Harpo or whatever.
I think.
I don't know. All the Marx Brothers suck ass. It's the shitty version of the Three Stooges. Like,
and they had more of them, and they couldn't do better than the Three Stooges.
They couldn't do better. But like the one who doesn't talk always pissed me off. I'm like, that's just annoying. Like you're just annoying. But Snoopy, it was like, I feel like he did what he tried to do, but better. And I was actually reading something that's like was saying he was like that was the influence.
Yeah.
And it's weird as I see that. It's like, well, you know what? Snoopy did him one better.
That's true. Well, the director of the show, director of this Christmas special and many other specials and animated things of Peanuts ilk later, Bill Melendez is the voice of Snoopy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he's, iconic at it, you know?
Yeah.
Got those weird dog noises.
Yeah.
He also steals the show in a literal sense in the show with his display of Christmas decorations, right?
Yeah, and then here's something. Oh, you know, Charlie Brown got this. You know, Charlie Brown doesn't want to do the commercial shit. Tried to participate,
right?
Despite his, you know, his apprehension to give in to the societal pressures.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, he's a rebel, man.
Right.
He's not into what society's into, man.
No, he's not. He's like, into taking long walks.
He's like, guess what, brah? You got your shirt with just a straight line on it. Mine's a zigzag. Anyway, okay, yeah. So anyway, he tries to participate despite his apprehension and, you know, his reluctance to just do what the cool cats are doing.
Exactly.
He gets a tree. Of course, he chooses a horrible tree.
Here's a question. Have you ever seen a metal Christmas tree?
Yeah, maybe.
Because, like, that was something where I'm like, I remember seeing this as a kid and even then being like, they make metal Christmas trees?
I mean, that was a thing of the time. They're obviously not as common anymore.
Yeah, there are a couple of those references where, like, what's her name? Lucy keeps talking about bubblegum cards. How come Beethoven's not on a bubblegum card? I'm like, you're losing me. What is that? It's like, what is that shit again?
Kids now are just like, Kim Kardashian's not on bubblegum cards. Bubblegum cards must be stupid.
Do kids even chew gum anymore?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I don't know, probably.
So, they try and he gets the shitty tree.
Why? Did you think this was going to work? Charlie, they already hate you.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. It's like, Charlie, you're not going to win friends doing this.
No, like in many ways, Charlie, I feel bad for you, but you bring this on yourself.
Maybe he's a masochist and he's just like, I want to see them just say horrible shit to me when I get this horrible tree.
Ooh, that's an interesting character trait to add to the CW reboot.
Oh, yeah, he's like, you don't understand.
I wanted this.
I wanted to have a shitty life or whatever. Every time I know she's going to take the football away, and I just kick as hard as I can and miss.
And as the blood rushes to my head on the ground, I feel the warmth in my chest. Let's stop.
All right. So, don't get any ideas now, CW.
Yes, we'll be coming knocking with our non-existent lawyer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'll be me and then Alex dressed in a suit. And listen here.
According to this piece of paper. Anyway, so they give him shit for the tree being all horrible. And then, like, after a while, like, Charlie Brown's like, does anyone know what Christmas is about?
We get the speech.
Linus drops some knowledge, but I'm going to skip that for now. They just steal all of Snoopy's decorations. And
Snoopy comes up and is like, fine.
Yeah. Snoopy's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'd be like, hey, assholes.
I won.
Yeah. You want to give me back my decorations? I'd be like, Charlie, like, you're about the Bible stuff. Thou shalt not steal. What the hell, man? You're just going to sit there? Let them take all my stuff?
Also, Linus, like, looks at the tree and is all of a sudden like, I never really did think it was such a bad tree. I'm like, where the fuck were you when they were just destroying your, like, closest friend's life because he bought a tree that looks like shit? Like, come on, Linus. Like, you suck. You're neurotic bastard. Come on.
I'm just too busy, like...
You used all your brain power in that speech?
Yeah, yeah. Well, then there's that speech, and that's an interesting part, obvious. Well, it's, like, extremely crucial to Charlie Brown cheering up. Mm-hmm. But it's also... I read that Charles Schultz said he wouldn't do it.
Really?
if they didn't include that part.
Well, I mean, it is interesting in that it's like a reframing of like, well, what does Christmas mean? And it's like, well, traditionally speaking, to many people, it is a Christian holiday. So it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. So I guess it's an interesting thing to put in a special like this that still plays.
Right. I think they made the right move though by being like, but it's also about trees and shit. Secular stuff.
Yeah,
because I thought that. I don't know if it was meant to be interpreted this way, but I guess this is just me digging way too hard trying to find a way to make it appeal to the secular audience.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was a cool East meets West moment when they're singing Hark the Herald Angel. Hark the Herald Angel in front of a beautifully decorated secular Christmas tree.
Yes, it's very Christian meets the secularism. That's true.
Or commercial, but it's a nice looking tree. It's like, what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm. And it's a microcosm of the entire episode. You know, you have a lot of the commercialized elements, the music.
Yeah.
Lucy, complaining to Schroeder in that legendary scene with Jingle Bells.
Oh man.
But then you have Charlie Brown being depressed because he doesn't get what the real meaning of Christmas is.
And he also, why does there need to be a holiday season to emphasize that no one likes me?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. What a dark line.
I kind of love that. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's like funny and like really, really dark and thematic. Mm-hmm. All this stuff in just a half hour special in which you don't see the fucking play at all.
Or the adults.
Yeah.
Who don't run the play.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you know that this episode was originally supposed to be an hour?
Really?
And that all the animation was completed in 4 months.
I heard it was 6 months.
Well, it was 6 months, but they didn't start animating until 2 months in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it was commissioned by Coca-Cola, and it was on a super shoestring budget, too.
Oh, yeah. And the producers initially thought it was going to fail because there was no laugh track. The tone was weird. The pacing was different from what they wanted. The music was non-traditional. The network thought it was going to suck, but it aired and it tested really well.
Well, see, that's what's weird is like, I'm joking around when I'm like nitpicking like them stealing Snoopy's shit or like, what is this stupid ass play about or like whatever. But there's so much else to work with that it almost doesn't matter that the plot is almost non-existent in some ways.
Yeah, and I can overlook like there are little animation errors here and there. Like, do you know the one at the end where like when they're singing "Hark the Herald Angels Sing" and it's panning from like left to right, and like there's a very quick like lightning quick frame where you can see like Pigpen's head drops out and like, goes to the background and like Patty or not Patty, what the heck is her name? One of the girls in the background, the
Marcy or whatever,
something like her dress like comes like into like to the foreground. Like it's so weird. Like just check that scene out. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
you can overlook stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about the music.
Oh, it's legendary.
First of all, that's one of the best Christmas albums, and it's up there just as a jazz album. Period.
Yeah, and if we're talking like Christmas score, like Christmas media score, like I would put that along the side of like the Home Alone soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like any soundtrack for any Christmas classic, another movie that we're talking about next.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just an iconic fucking score. The skating song, that's my favorite.
See, that's the thing is what I think makes this stand out. I mean, I guess in the genre of jazz, like my one complaint about jazz is it doesn't often really conjure up much like interesting like visuals. Mm-hmm. And I know that's kind of like a weird thing, but like rock, it's like the final countdown. You imagine like a big clock or something, or
right.
like a football team or a battle. Yeah. But like jazz, it's like they always choose such like shitty names for songs, like Scooby Bob guy like walking down the stairs
in this rain.
Or it's like
raining outside and it's dark.
Having a whiskey while listening to Miles Davis. It's like, what a shitty ass name for a song. Like yes, the music itself, like jazz in general, is awesome. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't do much for me, like in terms of like me thinking of a story.
Right. And
this is so standout from that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much here that's just iconic.
Well, it's like the ones like
Yeah, skating, man. That's the best one.
Well, it's like you literally imagine snow falling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, to me, it's hard not, like, and I mean, it's as simple as calling it skating. It's like, finally, something besides walking and Scooby-Doo-bopping and like the jazz music itself. Like, because I love Wes Montgomery, but it's like, when you're naming your shit after time signatures, come on, man. It's like 6 to 4 to 8 to 7 to 5. Doobity-bop. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Give me, like, I know that's like a weird complaint, but I feel like, to me, that's one possible reason why jazz, like, some people have like a hard time like getting into it.
Yeah, that's true. And this is, I think, very accessible.
Yeah,
you get Linus and Lucy, which is just a good, I mean, it's the Peanuts theme. It's the best. But then you get like the arrangement of Oh Christmas Tree. Like the...
Yeah.
It's great.
That's what I mean. It's like a really amazing arrangement.
Mm-hmm. It's clever. And it aids the story, most importantly.
It aids the story.
And the imagery.
Also, like, I think a lot, like the opening song, the Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong key again. Damn. Anyway.
Your perfect pitch.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, got it. But that song, I kind of like it because it's like, Christmas time is here, but everything sucks, and Charlie Brown hates life so
Santa
much.
isn't real.
Lucy is a bitch. Sally is a brat, and Linus won't get rid of that dumbass blanket. Holy shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, everything's great, but not really.
Yeah.
Like the music literally just reflects that with the, you know, the downshift. Yeah, the chord progression downward.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's what I mean. It's like,
this is a Christmas special where the lyrics fit the song.
Yes, exactly. And not only that, it's like,
sorry, Rankin Bass.
and the lyrics aren't like dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, God, I mean, I could honestly do a review of just the album because I listened to it recently. There's some stuff that's not in the cartoon, like the What Child Is This or whatever.
Yeah.
Green Sleeves. Mm-hmm. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's so good that they had as is typical of jazz with CDs. You get some bonus tracks of the same song, but a different take.
Oh, yeah.
So Green Sleeves and Green Sleeves take 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they are actually pretty different. I mean, the verses and choruses are the same, but the solos and the Scooby-Bobs are a little different.
Right.
But, okay, yeah, I could go on and on about the music.
It's. I mean, what else can we say other than it is?
One thing I have to point out that is an error. On the recording, there's a trio of a piano player, a bassist, and a drummer. And Snoopy is playing the guitar. That does not make sense.
Yeah, no. There's a couple scenes where you're like, where are the drums? You're like, what the? It's not gonna happen until you're over the age of 13 at least. You're gonna be like, wait a second.
I noticed an error and I wrote into the station.
Yes, I called ABC.
Yeah. ABC, I'm very disappointed that you are teaching children incorrectly about music.
I'm very glad to report that ABC will no longer ever air Christmas.
Yeah.
Peanuts Christmas.
It's been pulled off the air. I got a whole group. I got a Twitter army of angry bots.
Yeah. Yeah. This is. I mean, what else is there to say?
Well,
got some other notes.
Talked about. Yeah, I have lots of notes. I took like 3 pages.
Why is it called Peanuts?
You know what? That's something I have never cared to understand or ask.
It's
is
true.
it Peanuts like gallery? Like
it could be.
I don't know, man. I've never looked that up.
Oh yeah, no, you're actually exactly right. The syndicate settled on the name Peanuts after the Peanut Gallery featured in the Howdy Doody TV show.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good guess.
So I talked about Charlie Brown's disappointment being different than others. Well, I guess this is something we've sort of touched on, but it's kind of astounding that in 1965 they had something that talked quite heavily, or rather the special heavily dealt in this the holiday time blues.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Even if you're 7.
Yeah, jeez.
And you sort of suck, but it's not entirely your fault, and everyone else thinks you suck.
Yeah. Do you suck, or is it your environment that's made you suck?
That's another thing. It's like I was thinking about that because it's like, so Linus, he dropped some knowledge.
Mm-hmm. This is a surprisingly deep film TV special, but yeah, a lot of its messages didn't really come out until I was much older. I mean, this is very similar to a lot of Christmas specials or Christmas things that I watched, like the Santa Claus, like well, I didn't end up watching the Simpsons when I was growing up, but I'm sure there were things in there that I wouldn't have caught if I had watched it as a youngin'. You know, so this is it's a very apt thing. I was just there as a kid for the pretty colors and Snoopy fucking around with the piano and dancing and shit. But as an adult, I'm there for that and a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, I would say watching this with that new perspective. I mean, it's kind of the same, but there's just little things I noticed. Mm-hmm. I think honestly, the animation holds up just fine. I mean, aside from a few little errors, but you know what they did is they utilized shortcuts well.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, like, if you're dancing, yes, by all means, loop away.
Yeah.
And, like, I just always have liked Peanut's style of drawing. It's that simple, it sort of, like, reflects, like, the subject matter. Mm-hmm. Like, simple, sort of lighthearted.
Right.
Like, it's about, like, kids. It kind of looks like a kid's drawing, but, like, a kid who's, like, really good at drawing for being, like, a little kid.
Right. Yeah, man.
Just simple animation. Works well. And they use like camera movement,
panning and tilting.
That's what I'm saying. There's just like when you do that correctly, you can get away with not having things move a whole ton,
right?
Or you can just have like the background just be like random yellow and red blurs if you're Speed Racer. Yeah. But yeah, character designs are perfect, just like the comic.
I mean, it's nothing short of iconic. Everything about it is.
Right.
Everybody knows what Charlie Brown looks like. Everyone knows what his shirt looks like. Everyone knows what the tree looks like. Everything. Snoopy.
Yeah. Voice acting's on point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially for children.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of emotional range and just good delivery, especially matching the voices, or matching the faces as drawn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I could give you a lot of reasons why this is a great special, but I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Classic Lucy.
Yeah.
Threatening Linus.
Violent.
Yeah.
Violent lady.
And then he's like, you wouldn't hit a shepherd. And it's like, man, Linus, like, if I were there, I'd just want to punch you more.
You nerd.
Yeah, exactly. He's such a nerd because he's like the one, he's like, well, I think I know the answer, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So I think this to me is, I mean, I've seen this 100 times. I don't give a shit if none of it makes sense, like with the school play. I love this. This is a perfect score to me.
Yeah, I'd probably
find it. This is absolutely charming.
Oh yeah, it's a classic. I mean, this is gonna sound low, but I'd probably give it an 8, just because I was more of a Great Pumpkin kid. That was the special I always leaned. Yeah, I leaned closer to that one than the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Well, I leaned to this because I have never seen that.
You've never seen The Great Pumpkin?
Not the whole way through.
Oh, whoa! Holy God, that's a classic.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to get there next year or something.
Well, so the point is, in a town where all the parents are dead during Christmas, these kids thrived and had a good time.
That's a 13 out of 15, and it's worth a damn watch, people.
Yeah, 13 out of 15.
But we know you've already seen it.
Yeah,
probably.
Or maybe the parents aren't dead; they're just like all on vacation.
Maybe they're all shopping.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because commercialism, man.
Yeah, that's true. No. So depressed. And then like, some of them could be at church.
Yeah. Parents buying shit.
Anyway, yeah. So that's the end of our review of Charlie Brown Christmas.
And now we come to the big one. The Christmas special of all Christmas specials. And even though this is not a Christmas special per se.
It isn't just any Christmas special.
It's the Christmas special. So, out here in the States, we have a little channel called TNT or TBS. And every Christmas...
Out here in the States?
I don't know.
All right, yeah.
We got listeners in other parts of the world, if you will.
Sure.
We have something called 24 Hours of a Christmas Story, which is in and of itself, I consider, a Christmas TV special, where they air the film, the 1983 classic Christmas comedy film, A Christmas Story, directed by Bob Clark, for 24 hours. It usually starts around, like, Christmas Eve, like 5 p.m., and then
something like that,
it goes until the next day. Where do we start with this? How did this find its way into your life? Where did you grow up with this?
Yeah, it was one of the things that was like a tiny bit later, but not like 10 or 12-ish. Because I think what happened, and I mean, this is part of the story of this movie, is came out in 83 and it didn't really do all that well.
No, not at all.
And I don't know what happened, but I think it was about the time I saw it. Like, we had a VHS or a DVD. Like, someone's like, you gotta see this. And it just sort of, this was pre, like, internet, like, Uber Alles kind of era.
Right.
Where it's like, things were more like spread of word of mouth or TV or radio.
Right.
But somehow this thing just exploded.
Yeah.
And like the year I remember seeing it, I think everyone was hearing about it, or like, but it was this new thing, this new relic being rediscovered by everyone.
Would you call it a cult film?
I'm almost reluctant to say so because it's transcended that.
Yeah. It's a movement.
Yeah, because like to me, when I think of cult film, I think of like Rocky Horror Picture Show is like an obvious one.
Whereas this is a fixture of like American Christmas, celebration.
Again, this is obvious God tier.
Yeah, no, it's not close.
We're skipping scores.
It's a perfect score.
Yeah, obvious.
It's probably in my top 100 favorite movies ever.
Yeah, I would say
it might
somewhere.
be in my top 50.
Yeah,
if I'm honest, it might be. But
if we're talking top Christmases,
it's in the top 5, 3 even maybe.
Oof, man.
It'd be between this and like
say.
Home Alone and like Elf.
I love Elf, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. It's like Home Alone 1 and 2, Elf. This
I would count those
Santa
as the
Claus.
same movie. Home Alone 1 and 2.
All right, so Home Alone, Elf, and this probably top 3.
Santa Claus, honorable mention.
Yeah.
But this...
Well, I mean, really, Jingle All the Way is, like, better than all of these. I kind of forgot.
That is an and you know what? I'll defend that as being very brilliant satire any day of the week. But as for A Christmas Story, this is going back in my life. I don't remember when I watched this for the first time. That's how, like, part of my life this is. Like, I probably watched this, like, a few times before, like... probably when I was 1 or 2. I don't really remember like the first time I watched it. Like it's been like that much of a constant. It's like, and that's what's so weird is like watching this academically. I was like, it's just so weird because this has just always been the thing that's like it's on in the background when like I come home and like my mom's wrapping gifts or like you're eating dinner or whatever. It's like it's just always on during this time of year and you take it for granted. Yeah. But yeah, this was interesting to watch.
And I think. Even though everyone and at least now considers this a classic, I think there's a lot that's underrated.
Yes.
Even with what people think is good about it.
So much underrated, specifically certain scenes and lines of dialogue.
Right. And I'll go through them, as I have listed a few. Underrated, that includes Not a Finger!
Not a Finger!
I love how it's like, Gene Shepard, we'll get to that later. But
oh, man.
It's just the way it's like... And all he could muster back was, not a finger. It's just like, I don't know what it is about that line. It just cracks me up.
Darren fucking McGavin.
Yeah.
He's Billy Madison's dad, and he's the old man.
He was also the bad guy in Captain America who said, in the first 1990s one, all our work, all our years, right down the crapper. Classic. Okay, so there's that. Underrated, annoying look on that girl's face when she points to Flick out the door.
Yeah.
She's like she's acting like she's acting like the teacher asked like what's that smell? And she's like the way she's smirking. It's just like it's
chewing the scenery.
It's so annoying. It's just like
this isn't your movie, kid.
Yeah, it's like what are you pointing at a pile of shit like
in the corner?
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I always think. She's like,
that's the face I would make. I'd be like, you didn't see that when you walked in? You could notice the smell.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the look on her face. And she's like, she's like, I don't want to laugh too hard because that'll open my mouth. I don't want to smell.
I don't want to throw up.
The kid with the poor boy cap.
Holy cow! It's the fire department.
He's got two underrateds. How annoying is that? Department. Holy cow! It's the fire department.
Oh, wow! It's the cops.
Yeah, he says the cops normally, but also his look when
He's just like,
when Flick gets stuck.
Oh, he's like shitting his pants. Like it worked. Oh man, that's great.
It's like that to me. That's amazing acting for just one tiny shot.
The kid acting in this is on point.
Well,
like,
yeah.
When a child screams in this, you really think that like the fear of God is like coursing through their fucking bodies. You're like, this kid is like scared shitless right now.
Yeah. Well, also underrated, Ralphie's Fantasies.
Oh man,
how pitch perfect are those?
Weirdly enough, I didn't identify with how accurate they were. How accurate they were for kids. Like, until I was much older. Like, the fantasy of him being punished by his mom with the soap and then coming home with
like
soap
blind,
poisoning.
yeah.
I'm like, I had so many fantasies like this with, like, I'll show my parents. I'm going to run away. Then they'll feel sorry. It's like, oh my God, every kid has thought this.
Well, you know what I think is, like, the perfect... Like, what makes those so good, especially, though, is... Like, when you're a kid, your imagination is overcooked. Yeah, it's overcooked, like overactive.
Right.
And overactive imagination, overacting.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they all do it. They all ham it up, and it's perfect. It's like this.
A+.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like I felt like when I was a little kid, and I just like daydreamed about shit. Like that's always how I imagined it. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't imagine how like people actually acted and talked.
Right.
They're just like, you know, when you're a little kid, like everything's a Tennessee Williams play. It's just like no one fucking talks like that. Right. No one. But it just works so perfectly.
Your mom shows up and starts laughing at you in a jester suit.
Yeah, yo, shoot your eye out. or what's that? Or your family is trapped under your kitchen table.
Yeah.
Because the bad guys are outside.
And your mom's clutching like a napkin, and
yeah.
Your dad's got a coonskin cap on, or was that Randy that had?
Also, there is an editing goof in that scene.
Really?
Technically speaking. No, but I did notice, like, the mom and the dad flip sides.
Oh, really?
Not that it really matters. For those of you playing at home, do you like IMDb-style editing goofs? Probably not. If so, tell us how much you hate when people point those out in the comment section.
Yeah.
But the fantasy scenes, like, they're perfect.
And they're so... well, that's another thing that I liked is the element of, like, super realism or hyper realism where, like, that'll come in or, like, there'll suddenly be fast motion. Like, yeah. I love those where they're running away from Scud Farkas. And it's just, like, their voices are high and... But you can clearly still hear Randy say, "Come on, you guys, wait up! Come on, guys, wait up!" Yeah. Randy laid there like a slug. It was his only defense. Petition to have that get put on the fucking AFI's top 100 quotes, because that is one of my favorite quotes fucking ever. Like, doesn't matter what Christmas, doesn't matter how old I am.
All right, let's
kills me.
Let's talk about Gene Shepard.
Oh man,
I mean, there's the man of the hour. Like he wrote this because it was apparently based on a number of things he wrote, but there was something called "In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash."
Yes,
and that was like it was. I think this movie was based on that, which is a collection of different stories.
And it was also based on some elements from another book that he had called Wanda Hickey's Night of Golden Memories, I guess.
Yeah. And
so it was an amalgamation of a bunch of different things.
Well, it was that, and I think he was doing a college tour.
It's definitely his baby.
Yeah. Though. Yeah, he was doing some college tour, I think, and I don't know if he like had it written. It was just, I don't know, like a speech thing or whatever.
This is an element of the movie that I always took for granted. And if we're talking about like the gap between like me appreciating certain Christmas movies as a kid versus an adult, I've grown to so fucking appreciate Gene Shepard's narration so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because like I've gone to school now and I can understand his vocabulary because it's so colorful and just like, it's like poetry, like the way he'll put certain things. And I'm like, I never would have gotten it as a kid.
I mean, there's certain phrases I kind of use just because they're just so pertinent sometimes. Like,
my father wove a tapestry of obscenity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so fucking apt.
Well, it's not only that. It's like it's so ultra expressive. Mm-hmm. But I mean, and you know exactly what he means.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, in addition to he'll say like what he says, and then you see it, and you're like, yep, this is going together. It meshes perfectly. And another one of those moments is they looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears. I mean, aside from Gene Shepherd, just there's so much. There's so many phrases from this. They're just part of the American lexicon.
From the just quote
like this here's a tree.
Yeah. Now this here is a tree.
That's a class. Like I say that shit all the time whenever I'm like, looking for like something. I want the best one. I'm like, this here's a tree. It doesn't matter what the hell I'm looking for. It could
this
be
isn't one of those trees where all the needles fall off, right? No, that's them balsams.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fudge.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, fragile.
Only I didn't say fudge.
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word, the F dash word.
I gotta say, I kind of love that on Family Guy. Only I didn't say fudge. I said boo.
I said fuck. Also, another underrated quote. Don't bother me. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I love that. It's so funny because it's like. That's so perfect. That's such a perfect representative of his age, mm-hmm. where it's like you're sort of getting old. You're still a young kid, but there's just certain shit you're just not in the mood for, and it's
I'm a grown up now. Get away from me, Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, it's like please leave me alone. Yeah, like as one. It's like an Easter bunny was like trying to like put his arm around me and shit, and I turn around like get the fuck away from me. It's just like it's like hey, it's like please leave me alone.
I'm not your audience, man.
Yeah, dude, read the room.
Right.
Man.
But there's just so much in this to adore, and I know you've got some more.
Well, let's see. Okay, so I talked about the underrated stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's another underrated. Cinematography.
Yeah, it looks decidedly old-fashioned, in a good way.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this feels like this takes place in like 1950. 48 or whatever it's supposed to take place.
Well, it's like right before TV.
Yeah.
As we see Ralphie crowding about the radio for his favorite radio program, Little Orphan Annie. Yep.
God, and the decoder ring.
Right. But like the crane shot from the beginning, mm-hmm. It's like, welcome. It's like, this is your Winter Wonderland. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing is like, I think you may have mentioned this a little bit earlier about like the hyper realism.
Yeah,
that's what makes the fantasy scene so good. Is like it's so realistic, mm-hmm. or mostly.
Yeah, I mean it's aside even so from much.
Like,
where it's like you have narration. Like there's a lot of lines that I missed because like I was listening to the narration as a kid, but like they'll have like the characters in the scene will still be saying dialogue. And, like, Gene Shepherd will be narrating over it. And, like, when I was watching this, I'm like, I'm going to try and listen for some of those lines, and they're great. Like, there's little hidden lines, like, said by characters. Like, did you catch the one with Schwartz's mom?
What was that?
Where the mom calls over and tries to ask, or she calls to tell him that Ralphie said the F word and learned it from Schwartz.
She's like, he learned from his father.
I never caught that as a kid. I didn't.
Come on, that's
never heard it.
You can hear it clear as a bell.
No, we never TV's loud enough.
Those of you playing at home. Did you hear her say that? Because I thought you could hear it pretty clearly.
Yeah, no, it wasn't until like a few years ago where I was like, man, that's a fun line.
I love those kinds of jokes where it's like one person says something and then someone says the exact same thing and it's just because they know.
Yeah, and they're right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, you mean this? And it's like, yep.
No, he heard it from your son.
What? See, that's the thing is like, that was like one of those moments where it's like it's a little amped up because you gotta punch up. Yeah, gotta punch up the comedy. But I think there's something of there. It's such a perfect depiction of like the frenzy of Christmas season and the frenzy of Christmas Day.
Yeah, Jesus.
I can't tell you how much I love that montage where they're just going to
tearing
town.
presents.
I remember I used to watch this before. Like we used to watch this like Christmas Eve a couple times. I just remember watching that scene like as a little kid, just getting amped up. You know what I mean? It's like watching like game film if you're about to like play. You got a game.
Your next game.
Yeah.
Wow, what's this? That's mine. Wow, what's this?
When they both get the socks in unison, throw them. It's perfect. So let's talk about that score.
Yeah, man.
Talk about visual scores.
Oh, man. It's like the most expressive of like all Christmas scores.
It's like, it's very, Peter and the Wolf-esque.
Yeah, every cue fits every thing that's
what I mean.
on.
It's so cue heavy and it's so perfect.
Personal favorite? Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, dun. Yeah. When he's in deep shit.
And every that happens like when he says the F word, when he shoots himself.
Yeah.
It happens in every scene where something shitty happens. When he gets the F back or the C+.
Yeah.
C+.
Well, talk about expressive or rather matching the scene. The bumpus dogs. You got some. Well, yeah, you got some jugs and some jaw harps.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I'd like to see is a movie score with just jugs and jaw harps.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a Bumpus's origin story spinoff.
Oh God, please don't. Well, that kills me that there's a second one to this.
Oh, there's an official second one, but there was that. Remember we had that game where I was quizzed you on the Christmas Story sequels, that My Summer Story movie.
Well, yeah, so that was based on other Gene Shepard stuff.
I think it was based on like the second half of his the In God We Trust All Others Pay Cash book.
Yeah,
or part of it.
Number of things,
but not the same.
Yeah,
not the same as this.
Also, interesting thing to note about this movie. And I was listening to some of the commentary last night, and they were talking about how this movie was more like a series of vignettes.
Yeah.
Which again makes sense because of the way the book is, or rather, since it's the book and a number of other writings of his.
And it makes sense because in many ways, I mean, as we mentioned, it's we're not actually mentioning about this, but of the Christmas special for the Peanuts, this is like a slice of season movie. This is the story of Ralphie's favorite Christmas.
Slice of life. Well, it's that line about it's like the day in which all kids what the fuck
all
is
kiddom?
No, the one where it's like something about like the calendar year.
Oh, yeah. Ho, 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 but no matter, Christmas was on its way. Lovely, glorious, beautiful Christmas, upon which the entire kid year revolved.
I can so relate to that, because as a little kid, I remember, Christmas was the big day.
It sure was. I mean, I know when I was a kid, like, these were the 3 best months of the year. Like, you had Halloween, and then you had Thanksgiving, which was the bottom of the 3 holidays, but still pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
fuck being thankful, brah.
Right.
Who needs that?
Fuck turkey, man.
Yeah, who needs it?
Right. And then you had Christmas, which was, I mean, it's all about the presents when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think this movie perfectly captures that. I mean, I know as a kid there was always the one thing I wanted most for Christmas. It was like that game console, that Lego set, that, Jedi lightsaber building kit or whatever the hell it was. But there was always one thing. And for Ralphie, it was the Red Ryder BB gun. That's
another thing. I like that he's so fixated on that's the one thing he wants.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. There's so much in this that's, I mean, we really got to sing the praises of this. I mean, everybody likes this, right?
Extended deep sea diving. Every time I go running when it's cold out,
you get ready for extended deep sea diving.
Every time I think about that quote, I'm like, getting ready for school is like getting ready for extended deep sea diving. Because, like, I don't know. It's like I like to run outside. I don't know. I'm just not a treadmill type guy. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when it's cold, like when it's, below 30, like 25-ish degrees, and I'm just like getting ready, putting on all this shit. I'm like, man, in summer I don't have to put any of this shit on. And I always think of Randy getting ready for school, and how he can't put his arms down or any of that.
Can't put my arms down.
See what else we got. All right, talked about his only defense.
Oh, it's just a gut buster.
Darren McGavin. You know what's amazing about him? His performance in this. He worked so well as like the center of attention in the scene, but he also is just so great at little add-ons. You know, there's like that one thing he's just so exasperated. His nephew's horse is named Victor. How the hell did you know that? You just can't believe it.
You used up all the glue on purpose.
Man, he's.
Oh man, another great thing when he's putting the fucking lamp back together and the mom in the background is like trying hard not to fucking laugh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's something I always forget, and it just kills me every time I see it.
How about that lamp?
Oh,
that's become such an iconic thing.
I have a neighbor on the way out of my subdivision. They have a lamp. They have a leg lamp in the window.
We used to have one, or I think we still have it in storage somewhere.
Yeah, my brother's got a mini one in his den. I mean, it's just like it's a part of culture.
That's what's so amazing is it's like such an arbitrarily not Christmas thing that became so associated with Christmas just because this movie is so wildly popular now. And I guess, let's see. Oh, fun fact, this was directed by Bob Clark, who directed Porky's.
And one of my least favorite movies ever.
What's that?
Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Really?
As well as Baby Geniuses 1, which sucks.
See, you know what? That honestly doesn't surprise me that he directed Porky's, because honestly, Porky's has great characters, and it's also very slice of life.
Yes.
It's just a little grosser.
Yeah. A lot more old-fashioned in some ways that aren't so great, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, but
Me neither.
I remember liking it kind of, but
it's like such a baby boomer dad movie. Like it's like one of my dad's favorite movies because he watched it probably when he was like 17 or 18.
Like Animal House or something.
Yeah, same
like
deal.
That same ilk.
He also directed Black Christmas, as you know well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did he? Seriously?
Yeah, you knew that.
No, I feel like I didn't know that.
So 2 Christmas movies
directed
of different...
2 fine Christmas movies.
Right.
One about getting weapons and one about getting killed.
By them, yeah.
Exactly. No, but there's really not much else to say except for the fact that this is really... It's one of those movies where it's the complete package. The score, the editing, the...
acting, the writing...
the cinematography, yeah.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
sure
it's
is.
a perfect score for me.
Well, I mean, we've both seen this 100 times, and we had stated earlier, it's an obvious perfect score for both of us. And if you don't mind the fact that we basically just went through it blow for blow, except for the bully scene, I guess we left that out anyway. If you don't,
he had yellow eyes, so help me.
God, yellow eyes. But if you don't mind the fact that we essentially gave you the whole movie blow for blow, I suggest you check it out now because it's a fantastic movie and it's perfect for the Christmas season.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this 35th episode of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert, the Christmas special,
in which we examine Christmas specials on this Christmas special.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Alex.
And as always, you can find us at all of our social media outlets, Facebook, SoundCloud, and, of course, YouTube, under the title of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. And happy holidays, everybody.
And have a happy new year as well. See you guys next time.